Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital staff helps clean up care recipients' houses. We take a look at how China says no to low-value, high-polluting foreign garbage. Welcome to the Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. At the orientation camp of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, there are indoor classes and also arrangement for medical staff to care for care recipients. In Xindian, the medical staff was divided into two teams. One group helped a man with mobility issues as volunteers clean up his living environment. The other team was led by hospital deputy superintendent to help a family repaint their walls. Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital Deputy Superintendent has led the medical staff to help clean up a Tzu Chi care recipient's house. Besides repainting the wall, under the guidance of Tzu Chi volunteers, they also clean up the restroom and kitchen. One person is in charge of cleaning a corner, getting rid of the spider web and dust. They also wipe the light bulb and check its function. In this family, a university student works part-time to support her ill grandmother and mother.
How is your grandmother doing?
We sent her to a nursing home for a month, as the cleanup will affect her.
Yes, let's clean up this place, so that grandmother can feel comfortable when she returns.
No one likes to live in a messy environment unless they're old or ill. At the orientation camp at Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, the new healthcare workers have reached out to the needy with compassion. At another house, two doctors are testing Mr. Gao's limb feelings. They're also asking about his illness and his intake of medicine. Then they encourage him to continue receiving the treatment. The other members of the team are cleaning up in 6 more areas. When asked if they're tired, young people are honest.
I'm very tired, but I think I can hang on. I have seen many Chi Chi sisters do the work. I can do it too.
The medical staff has walked out of the hospital to witness people suffering and cherish their own blessings. Also in the new staff orientation camp of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital, the staff went to a morning market in Zhonghe District to do recycling.
The screams of street vendors started the one-day course of the new staff orientation camp of Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital. Upon seeing familiar volunteers, the storekeepers immediately hand in such a treasure.
We haven't done much. It's Tzu Chi sisters who start doing it in the morning until we close our store. They're really great.
To experience the daily routine of the recycling volunteers, the students bent over to pick up recyclables.
We went to many fruit stalls and saw a lot of plastic sleeves for holding the fruit on the ground. The storekeepers may not be able to collect them in time when they finish selling the fruit, so we are responsible for collecting them to recycle.
From fruit stores, hardware stores to clothing stores, the young people kept collecting plastic bags, learning another major besides medicine.
First of all, I think Tzu Chi sisters are working really hard. We collect recyclables for less than an hour only, yet we are sweating already. But they have to work so hard every day for our environment and the earth. It is not easy. They are really very great.
If we young people can do more for this market or more for this earth, I think those recycling volunteers do not have to bend down so hard. Just leave it to us young people to do.
The new healthcare workers bear the responsibility to save lives and our environment, protecting the earth as they practice medicine.
September 17 marked the World Patient Safety Day. In Taiwan, Daling Tzu Chi Hospital has held a week-long activities to raise people's awareness on patient safety. Through skits and games, the hospital encourages patients to voice out. The nurses remind everyone about the importance of patient safety through a lively skit. To mark World Patient Safety Day, Daling Tzu Chi Hospital is encouraging everyone to voice out.
We need to set up an organization culture, which encourages everyone at different units to raise their questions regarding patient safety. We will practically solve the problems and elevate patient safety level.
There are many games on site, and their themes include fall prevention, medical violence, and organ donations. Asking questions and building up a trusting relationship, the patients and hospital staff need to work together to improve the medical quality. In Malacca, Malaysia, city volunteers promote vegetarianism by sharing benefits of being a vegetarian. They also invite people to order vegetarian lunch boxes.
Counting the number of lunch boxes, followed by loading the whole box on the car, Chi Chi volunteers in Malacca rush to deliver the lunch boxes, hoping to arrive before mealtime.
I just want to do the right things. I trust that other people will appear to help and support us.
The couple of Wu Yirong and Chen Yufang has invited 99 nearby companies and members of the public to order vegetarian meal boxes.
He asked us if we would like to support, and then we thought we could order for our staff to eat. Everybody go meatless to save the earth and protect animals.
She thought it is very meaningful, so she ordered 24 packs more and invited all the staff to eat.
Like lawyer firms, insurance companies, or trust companies, when these companies respond to the event, there will be more people to adopt a vegetarian diet, greatly reducing animal killing.
There is also a woman called Suan Wei Zhen who runs a clothing store. She has encouraged 85 customers to have a vegetarian meal.
We form a good affinity with animals so as to protect and love the earth together with us. Then we'll be more healthy.
She will also deliver the meal boxes to us, so I asked them to order together. It's so far with more than 5 kilometers.
A vegetarian meal is equivalent to a good thought, and its nutrition is also good for our health.
City volunteers in China visited Yi County, Hebei province, before sending love in winter. Due to the epidemic, the visit had been postponed and were finally conducted at the end of August. A total of 124 volunteers visited 348 families.
Grandma Lu Chunfang, who is 102 years old, is singing smoothly and powerfully. Her wealth of health is like what is embroidered on her treasured insole. A contented mind is a perpetual feast.
I give you 2 boxes of longevity noodles.
Chi Chi conducted an initial home visit in Yi County, Hebei province, in preparation for the coming delivering of love in winter. 124 volunteers were divided into 19 groups and visited 348 households in 27 villages of 6 townships. They, together with village officials, seized this opportunity to help Mr. Li Shunliang clean his home, relieving some of the troubles of this family.
This event allowed me to feel the power of love.
We should learn to bear a grateful heart.
Volunteers visited every household, with some are elderly, injured or ill, to form good affinities with them. Volunteers also help them cut their nails and wash their hands with love. When they have pain and tears in their hearts, they may lean on Chi Chi volunteers' shoulders and find comfort.
The economy in China has developed rapidly. China has become a major producer and importer of plastic products. For decades, much of the world's plastic waste has been imported into China. However, China is now rejecting low-value, high-polluting foreign garbage.
There are many large and small shops and tall buildings. This is Zhangmutou Town, Dongguan, Guangdong, China. It is known as Little Hong Kong. In the early days, 150,000 Hong Kong people invested and lived here. After the 2008 financial tsunami, Hong Kong people left and everything in the town quietly changed. Zhangmutou has transformed into a plastic raw material trading market. There are 6 professional plastic markets in town, with an annual output value of $14.7 billion. There's a saying in the plastic material industry, look at Yuyao in the north and Zhangmutou in the south. Local plastic companies have established international e-commerce trading websites to publish the latest industry news, various plastic prices, and raw material quotations every day. Buyers can also check the quality of the product locally in just 2 hours.
In the plastic market, how can I tell if a product is made from recycled materials? Is it recycled materials or raw material? This requires third-party certification. That is to say, if you want to claim 100% made from recycled materials, you must tell others where your material comes from and why is it recycled material and why is it 100%.
The overall economy in China has developed rapidly and has become a major producer, consumer, and importer of plastic products, accounting for about 30% of the world's total, with the annual output value of more than 50 million tons and a market value of approximately 75.6 billion.
The plastic products exported from mainland China are all encompassing, and even the children's toy in my hand, which is said to be unbreakable, contains plastic.
According to statistics from the China Light Industry Federation, the export of plastic products in 2016 was $57.7 billion, and the output in 2017 increased by 3.44%, with revenue increased by 6.74%. However, according to the statistics from WTO, due to the insufficient raw material sources, China imports unsorted waste plastics. The United States, Japan, Germany, and the United Kingdom are the main importing countries. For decades, 56% of the world's plastic waste has been imported to mainland China through sea transportation and has become remanufactured.
There's a huge demand here in China, so to think that it is okay, this is a business, this is a useful thing. Landfilling may be a waste, in fact can be reused and reused. This is a sustainable business cycle.
In the past 20 years in China, growth has really been very fast. And a lot of recycling industries have emerged, and their own recycling work has created more employment and even output value.
Behind the huge global industrial chain, there is bitter sides. The documentary Plastic China, released in 2017, directed by Wang Zhouliang, involves spending several years in a coastal town in Shandong to find a factory engaged in plastic recycling and refining.
The first thing I want to say is that this big industry, and through the camera we want to expose industry, but there is no factory willing to open their door for us.
Avoiding the concerns of government departments and gradually establishing relationships with manufacturers, Wang Zhouliang recorded that children use untreated IV bags, medical gloves, and even syringes from foreign countries as toys, while adults directly burn waste plastics for cooking.
He doesn't know how it affects his child's body, but such bad things are given to them by our grown-ups, and they become carriers.
The sight of people living together with imported garbage shocked the international community. After the premiere of the documentary, China submitted a document to the World Trade Organization, stating that for public health and ecological environmental considerations, starting from December 31, 2017, China will ban the import of foreign waste. There are 8 kinds of waste plastics, unsorted waste papers, 11 kinds of waste textile materials, and 4 kinds of slag.
口洋垃圾很赚钱，但这个钱跟洋垃圾一样黑臭。医疗废弃物经过简单加工，变成玩具、餐具、吸管。
When the ban came into effect, the coastal city customs actively inspected imports as the Blue Sky 2018 and 2019 operations to crack down on foreign garbage.
I announced the start of the second round of concentrated combat operations of the Blue Sky 2019 special project.
Only after implementation of the ban on waste, garbage disposal problems emerged in the garbage exporting countries, especially in the United States, which accused China of changing the rules too quickly, making relevant industries unable to make timely adjustments.
The first impact was that US was unable to export waste as no one wanted it. In addition, the value of this garbage was originally very low, so you had to find a way to find someone to deal with the garbage.
The United States also accused China of appearing to violate WTO obligations, and therefore demanded that implementation be stopped immediately. However, the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs held a press conference to fight back strongly.
We hope that the United States will, in accordance with the spirit of the Basel Convention, be based on its own way of reduction, processing and digestion of the hazardous waste and other waste it generates, and assume more responsibility and obligations for the world.
When China left the convention and rejected foreign waste, according to official customs statistics, the volume of imported solid waste fell by 43.4% in 2018, of which the volume of waste plastics imports fell by 99.1%, with only 50,000 tons imported.
Under this situation, my feeling is that we see that foreign waste is prohibitive on being imported. Really hurt the market, as many of these waste materials have been looking for export market and finally wound up in Southeast Asia.
Saying no to low-value, high-polluting foreign garbage is like the opium problem in China in 1839. Perhaps the prohibition order will bring a new era, as China is no longer the largest recipient of garbage in the world.
Tzu Chi Singapore chapter has made several adjustments on promotion of environmental protection. First, they have renamed Recycling Day to Recycling Continuation Day. Second, they stopped collecting plastic waste in order to encourage the public to reduce the use of plastic products. Last, they have asked different recycling points to design their own action path.
Affected by the pandemic, Tzu Chi's mission of environmental protection was delayed, but was back on its feet as the Singaporean government eased its COVID prevention measures. Tzu Chi's Singapore chapter has also made suitable adjustments to promote eco-friendliness.
Because the epidemic in Singapore has slowed down, so we want to resume our activity of promoting eco-friendliness. Therefore, we proposed a plan, like keeping a social distance of 1 meter and a clear action path for participants, in order to prevent possible infections. So we have asked different recycling points to design their own activity routes in a given space.
We will guide the citizens and let them sort recyclables by themselves.
Incorporating the promotion of eco-friendliness with COVID prevention measures, the event turned inconvenience into opportunities.
Firstly, we changed the name of the Recycling Day to Recycling Continuation Day. Secondly, we thought of having more citizens to do recycling by themselves. Thirdly, plastics are a huge problem because many people are lazy, so they use a lot of disposable plastics. So our next goal is to find ways to reduce plastic.
Different from the ways before, a clear event path and procedures not only reduce the chance of volunteers getting infected during the event, but also increase the opportunity of local citizens participating in sorting of recyclables so that they can learn proper knowledge in the field of recycling.
Public housing in Singapore has blue recycling bins near buildings, but 40% of materials thrown in there are unable to be recycled. So the Singapore chapter worked together with Samwaste. They hope through the promotional phone apps, both groups may achieve a good teamwork status.
Recycling has become a more important activity in our daily lives. But do you know, each recycle bin has over 40% of items unable to be recycled. What has caused this number to not reach 100%? Let's take a look.
Toilet seat? Oh my goodness, no! Food?
No. It's horrible. This one is okay.
In order to reduce recyclables being contaminated, Samwaste, a company that manages and processes recyclables in 3 regions of Singapore, actively promotes a phone app named Easy, encouraging citizens to participate in the act of recycling.
It's best to engage the public in a digital mode, so the public at their own convenience can easily log on to this app and understand what they can recycle for their households. And along the side, we also provide the convenience of telling them where and how to recycle. And this is where the partnership with Tzu Chi is useful, because you can share what you are doing to say that, look, the public can bring this type of recyclables to your sites, and then we can be there to help them recycle better.
This year in March, Tzu Chi in Singapore signed a cooperation agreement with Samwaste, a company under SemCorp, hoping that through further promotional events, the 2 organizations may work more closely, securing a good and efficient recycling result on behalf of Singapore.
In major cities of China, some communities have implemented recycling within the past few years. In addition to inviting city volunteers to mobilize residents to recycle, in Guangzhou's New Town, 4 areas have been set aside as recycling points.
Guangzhou, one of the 4 major first-tier cities in China, is full of high-rise buildings and densely populated. It is not easy to find a place for recycling. Yet, in this day in Huajing New Town, a new recycling point was set up.
In the past 2 years, we have been cooperating with the neighborhood committee. In this little Huajingxi community, Tzu Chi volunteers came in to promote the concept of environmental protection. The neighborhood committee thinks this is very good and also fits the eco-friendliness action of the country now. That's why they invited Tzu Chi to set up a recycling point here.
There are more than 600 households in this community. On the day when the recycling point was opened, volunteers mobilized residents to sort recyclables. Many officials from property companies also come to learn.
The spirit of Tzu Chi, paying for the community and others, and making our environment better really touched me, so that I came so early today to learn.
At present, our community has been doing garbage sorting for more than a year. We have been insisting on doing it, yet the results are not very good. So I came here to learn, hoping to bring back some good things to improve the environment of our community.
In addition to understanding the details of sorting, environmental protection has to be rooted in children's minds since childhood. Volunteers explain the importance of energy saving and carbon reduction, making the children very rewarding.
Plastic bottles, glass bottles, aluminum cans, iron cans, and paper, all these can be recycled. You can bring whatever you have at home here.
I will use less water in the future. I will also recycle my homework notebook after it runs out.
In line with the government's environmental protection and zero-waste policies, volunteers encourage residents to protect the earth by practical actions, expanding the power as they safeguard the environment.
In Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur and Selangor city volunteers have held a sutra chanting and prayer ceremonies. They seized the opportunity to share the correct beliefs and principles with the public. Kuala Lumpur and Selangor city volunteers have invited people to chant the original vows of Kitigaba Bodhisattva Sutra at city offices. The 7th lunar month is an auspicious month and a filial piety month.
We use the bodies given by our parents to benefit the public. This is true filial piety.
Filial piety and good deeds should not be delayed. Going amongst the public to contribute to society gives new meaning to life.
I'm still writing my life script. I want to give of myself. We can help out with international disaster relief.
Volunteers hope people will adopt a vegetarian diet and worship in the correct way to reduce killing and protect the environment.
At the group study, I repented and said that I will not eat meat anymore and form bad affinities with animals. I won't burn joss paper anymore. I've realized that piety is what really matters in worshiping God.
At the prayer ceremony, volunteers share correct principles, hoping that people will do good deeds together and protect the environment. In the United States, to promote vegetarianism, city volunteers have delivered 200 vegetarian meal boxes and instant rice to Pomona Valley Medical Center. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.